Did you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Um, my name's Dean. I have been doing songs and a lot of film, TV, ad stuff for, gosh, over 15 years now. I guess it's not quite 20 years now. Joined Taxi, I think, in 2000, the year 2000, and just kind of accidentally fell into the film and TV world and really started pursuing it after I got my first placement. And it wasn't until 9 months or a year later when I got my first royalty checks that I went, oh, you can make real money at this thing. And this show, just one show, played 5 days a week, every week. So I played 3 times in that one show, and I got $600 every time it was played.
Sweet.
And I make $1,800 on one show, on one song.
That's awesome.
Man, I need to start learning this business.
You've you've gotten placements on a bunch more shows like Oprah, Dancing with the Stars, Late Night with Seth, Scorpion, Duck Dynasty, Parenthood, and the list goes on and on. You've had an enormous amount of success, and congratulations on all of it. You've also owned gold and platinum records. Not owned them, sorry. He has also earned gold and platinum records as a songwriter, and has been recorded by numerous diverse artists such as Stephanie Heinzman, Universal, Quickie, Sarah Burgess, Scott Krippaehne, which I believe is your brother, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And decades in the music industry. So really appreciate you joining us. So I got a few questions for you, starting out with, what are instrumental cues? What are they, and how are they used in film and TV?
Instrumental cues. Instrumental cues don't have vocals in them. First of all, that we should just start there. Let me just try to give you the overview. Instrumental cues are, most often they're different than songs, as all of us songwriters would think. However, songs can be cues.
Yeah.
And instrumental songs can be cues, but most often when you're writing an instrumental cue, you are writing a mood. And that mood, you're concentrating on the mood, and instead of concentrating on the melody and where's the melody going to take you, it's concentrating on the mood and how is the mood going to move? And that mood, some common ones are tension or dramedy, comedy, sad stuff. It can be almost anything, a sexy mood. Think of any mood, and there's probably music that goes for it. So you're really writing moods, and a typical cue is around 2 minutes long, is what you would write if you're creating it. Often they might only use 20 seconds or 50 seconds of the cue, but sometimes they'll use the whole thing. And if they need 3 minutes, they'll just take the end of the cue and loop in part of the other and make it 3 minutes long. So, but most publishers and most libraries are asking for it to be around 2 minutes, give or take. And a cue, typically, you need to recognize the mood probably in the first 2, 3, 4 measures. It needs to say what this mood is. It spooky? Well, right away, you need to know it's a spooky thing. Is it tension? Right away, you need to feel the tension. Is it going to be dramedy, somewhere between, not cartoon, but dramedy? You need to kind of know that quirkiness or that mischief right away, and then slowly it will build that emotion throughout the 2 minutes. And it usually has, a typical song, or at least a typical song up until the last couple of years, would be verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. I know there are new artists now. Sometimes, Post Malone comes out with a song. I don't know what the form is on that. It's just what the kids are liking these days. But a cue typically has an A section that might go twice, and that was like, from a song standpoint, that'd be like 2 verses. And then it goes to a B section from a song standpoint, that would be like your chorus. And then it might go back to the A section again. That's fairly typical. Sometimes a lot of the tension things that I've done I never go to a B section. It's just keeping that tension building throughout the 2 minutes. And you don't want to have too much of a change. You just want to slowly build the thing, because music supervisors, music editors, they're going to change the scene with a different piece of music. And they just want to know what the mood is in your instrumental cue. And they're going to use it for however long they use it. And when they want to change the mood drastically, they'll put another piece of music in there.
What are edit points?
Edit points. Edit points, most people that are songwriters are going to naturally put an edit point in, I think, because we naturally are. Edit points are places where the visual, they need to change the music to something else. So they're looking for a place in your music where they can easily stop it or easily cut to another piece. A lot of us, that's pretty natural, in that there's usually between the verse and the chorus, or section A and section B, there's a change or a drum fill or a stop or a high or a low, sometimes throughout the verse. A lot of people say to put those in, program those into your writing. That's always just confused me. I just write moods. And I had one supervisor tell me one time, he says, don't worry about it. This is just one person's opinion. He says, make sure you put a stinger ending on it, which I do on all my cues. And that basically means your song's going for 2 minutes or minute and a half, bump, and it ends. And it can go bomb and ring out, but it ends. It doesn't fade out. And one of the reasons for that is they can cut that little 3-second ending off of that, 3-second, 2-second, 5-second ending off that, and they can put it anywhere they want to in your song. And especially if it's a point that goes to the tonic, the root chord, it'll sound okay-ish. Most of the time they do a pretty good job, and the ones they've done for me, when they've taken, I have a 2-minute piece and they're only going to use 23 seconds and they want it to end, it's bump, and they've just cut the ending and they put it in there. It sounds pretty good. Sometimes it sounds really awkward to me, but I'm being over picky. I got to remember that the most important thing for them is not my music, it's their show and
That's
how
right.
that feels
Exactly. Yeah.
to the viewer. And as Michael said, what's in it for me? What's in it for the viewer? It's not about my music at that point. It's about whoever is watching Dancing with the Stars. What are they feeling in that little vignette that they're telling about one of the contestants, so that's,
the more opportunities.
I don't, other people that I know that we both knew do put edit points, specific places where you could cut in your music. They may be going along for 8 measure, without losing the tempo like I just did. But I don't do that. I
let it ring out.
I've never had, I'm in 500 shows, so what I'm doing must work.
So exactly. So you're, a big reason for edit points is like chopping, giving the editor opportunities to chop up your piece of music. Yeah. So you can have a bunch of small pieces of music that get used, right?
Yep. Yeah, they can. And another reason why I've haven't put a lot of energy in that is you never know where they're going to cut your music at. Right. They're going to cut your music to the scene. They're not going to cut the scene to your music. And so, if I look at my cue sheets, the cue sheets that come from any given show might have, if it's a reality show, it might have 50 pieces of music on it that are all from 10 seconds to 40 seconds long. And I never know are they going to use 12 seconds of my music, 28 seconds, 53 seconds? You just don't know.
No.
So I'm not overthinking that, but that's what edit points are. Exactly what you said. It's places where they could, in theory, cut it up. But it's as long as you have a good stinger ending on it that ends on the tonic or the root of whatever song, whatever music cue you're doing, you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah. So no faded endings anymore.
No.
Or at least for film and TV. short
Yeah.
short intros. Why is it important to know what genre you're working in, and why is it so important to title your cues properly?
Yeah, and if you have a spooky track that you want to, I have I placed some Halloween type tracks years ago, and my titles were like Witches Stitches, kind of fun Halloweeny things. But trying to capture the mood somehow. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes my titles, it's more difficult for me to come up with a title than it is the music.
Yeah, no, it's a good point though. Sometimes it's really important to get the title down for them to click on that and to match the music that it is. They're gonna, if you get that right, there'll be more of a chance to use it, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. There's a couple things I've done. I have a couple. A show asked me a couple months ago to do some tension stuff for them, and I haven't turned it in yet now. But I didn't even want to think of the titles while I was doing it. So I'm doing 10 pieces for them, and I just in my file, I just have with the name of the show, I have tension 1, tension 2, tension 3, tension 3 through 10. Now I'll go back and think of the titles later, and try. And another thing, and I don't know if this works at all, but if I can, I try to title it with something that's an earlier letter in the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but I'm like, well, if they get their cues in alphabetical order, and maybe it makes no difference at all, but I've just been, if I can, I try to come up with something. I've even gone as far as like, if I called something, banana pie. Well, that banana pie. If I called something pecan pie, I might retitle it a pecan pie. And so it comes up under the A's.
That's a good tip, man. I'm sure that helps, right?
I don't know if it helps or not, but I've just, being the superstitious guy, I've been doing.
No, that's a good point.
When I can, if it ruins the title, I don't do it at all. I want the title first and foremost to really be what the music is.
Okay. How do you organize your cues to start off?
Yeah. With? Shout out to Composer Catalog. Yeah. If somebody wants an easy way, I just say, go grab Composer Catalog. It's really intuitive. I've got it somewhere. It's just, I am really old and I've been doing things the same. I'm still,
you're not that,
I just can't believe that I can't go to Blockbuster Video anymore. How stuck in my ways I am.
Well, that's true. So tell Keith that we sent you. All right.
Yeah.
Dean and I. How has Taxi helped your journey into a successful career writing cues for TV and everything?
Oh man, Taxi is really the key component, bar none. So around 2006 was when I really made the decision to go to my first Taxi road rally. And that changed everything. I met people. I found that there were 3,000 people most of them were just like me. It was like coming to a family reunion that I didn't know a family I had.
Yeah, it's like coming home, right?
It's like amazing. Coming home.
So see you all hopefully bright and early, starting at networking at 9:00 tomorrow morning. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for sticking around, and thanks for your patience too. Cheers. Thanks, Dean.
Bye. See you,
everybody. All right.